Very happy to be joined by Jeremy Maclin, who was recently named the new head coach at Kirkwood High School. A 2006 graduate, Jeremy played at the University of Missouri and had a professional career where he was drafted in the first round draft pick.
Yes,
the Philadelphia Eagles, played for the Kansas City Chiefs and the Baltimore Ravens over a decade in the National Football League. After helping Mizzou reach heights it hasn't seen since he departed. Jeremy, thank you so much for joining us here at STL Today and the St. Louis Post-Dispatch.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me.
I have to tell you,
no see, man. Long time no see.
I was going to say, I have to tell you, it's weirding me out a little bit to be talking to someone who's becoming a head coach after I watched him play as a player many times at Kirkwood. So I guess what I'd like to start with is, how did the last 2 years as an assistant coach at Kirkwood kind of prepare you for this role? Because there's a lot of guys I talk to that say, they didn't know they wanted to be a coach until a certain point, and it wasn't necessarily what they thought it was going to be when they got into it. How did your 2 years as an assistant on Coach Farrell Shelton's staff with the Pioneers kind of prepare you and give you insights into being ready to do this job?
I think first I'm gonna start off by saying I've always known I wanted to get into coaching. This is going back to when I was a kid. I've always wanted to be a coach, and for me it was always about what level. Okay, so I was able to play college ball, play in the league for a while, and I seen the hours and the time and the work that these coaches put in, and for me, when I got done playing, when I finally retired, for me it was always about the kids, right? It was always about the youth. It was always about what can I do to give back, and that's why my foundation stayed local. That's why my foundation was always tailored towards helping kids. And for me, when I retired, it was all about, okay, I got to get back home. There was a part of me that was missing. There was a part of me that I felt like was a little lost when I was out in Baltimore after I retired. And, me and my wife, we were just having our first child. So I was still thinking about how can I get home, right? How can I get home? How can I get home? How can I get back to the community? And just to help these kids, man, because, with the state of the world and everything that's going on, and for me, the kids are our future, man. The youth is our future. So we gotta spread positivity. We gotta spread love. We gotta help these kids grow up and mature and develop and become just genuine good people. So for me, it was all about how can I get home to do that. And then when I got here, I instantly became happier. I was in a better mood. Because I was comfortable. It was familiar. It was in ways fresh again. Just coming back home and being around family and people that I knew. But it was still something missing, right? Because being recently retired, stepping away from the game of football, I was like, what? I want to coach. So, like I said, I wanted to coach when I was a kid, and then I was able to talk to Farrell, and I was able to kind of come on as a wide receiver coach and just being around the kids and just kind of being able to kind of share my experiences, share my knowledge, and just learn, right? Because there's a lot to learn, right? There's a lot to learn when you get into the coaching world. It's not always about football, which it shouldn't be, right? You got to learn how to help these kids succeed in the classroom. You got to learn how to life skills, anything that you can give them, anything that you can teach them. That's what it's about. Just as important, if not more important, than the football field. So being there and having that opportunity and just seeing kind of these relationships develop between me and these kids and these student athletes was something that I really enjoyed. And there was validation from kids coming up and just talking to me about personal things that they got going on and asking, hey, Coach Mac, hey, I got this. I'm stuck between this rut. This is what's going on. How can I do this? How can I do that? And it's always, for me, man, I always share my experiences, share my ideas, but I let those kids be themselves, man. You got to be yourself. You got to take what you think may work for you, use it, to the best of your ability, use it how you want to use it, and hopefully you can achieve the results that you want to achieve. And there's so many great life skills, life lessons, fundamentals of life, team building, anything you can think of, you can get a lot of that through the game of football as well. So, I love the game of football. And when I found out Farrell was going to retire, I was like, this is a perfect opportunity to give back in a major way to the community of Kirkwood, and I wouldn't have it any other way. It is still pending board approval, but I'm just so fortunate and so lucky and happy to even have the opportunity, man. It really is. I know it's kind of cliche, but it really is a dream come true, man. Just to be able to, it all came full circle to come back where it all started, to help the community that helped me become the man I am. I'm just super grateful for the opportunity.
So you mentioned some of the lessons you've learned in football. What are those things that aren't necessarily related to football that the game has helped you with
Just
life?
adversity, man. Adversity. Whether it's during the course of a play, whether it's getting hurt, right? Whether it's rehab, whether it's just being tired and you don't feel like getting up today. Whether it's not really fully understanding the game plan, just adversity, man. I think that's huge, man. It's just how do you respond to adversity in life in general? You use these situations, you use these experiences, and you just apply them to what you have going on now, right?
So I'm fascinated, like you mentioned, adversity, because when you did go to Mizzou your freshman year, you did not get to play because you suffered an ACL injury. And that is, I mean, we talk about it like it's a routine injury in a rehab, but anybody who's been through it, there's nothing routine about what you have to go through. So how did that really kind of shape who you are, especially because I don't remember you having any kind of significant time away from the game at any season as a high school player?
Yeah, that was my first real injury. There was so many different things, so many different feelings that crossed through my mind that took over my body. I thought about stepping away from football because I didn't know. I'd never been hurt before. I had never not been able to play the game that I love to play. And, that season I couldn't do that. There was so much. I talked about not playing. I talked about maybe going home, finding a job. Like, it was just so many different things that went through my body, man. But and this is where everything comes into play, man. Your support system, your mindset, your teammates, your coaches, your family. Like I said, that support system, man. You can lean on these guys and women and anybody who have in your life, and just it's tough to make rash decisions when you're emotional. You kind of got to take a step back and kind of reevaluate and reassess the situation. And that's one of the things I tell my kids all the time, like, don't make rash decisions, right? Too many times people think instincts are rash decisions. Instincts aren't rash decisions. Instincts are something that you built. Instincts are a skill. Rash decisions are a lot of times, based off emotions. And for me, it's all about take a step back, evaluate the situation, weigh your options, understand the pros and cons of what you're dealing with, and then come up with the best solution for you.
So the Kirkwood School Board, as you mentioned, is going to make a decision as to whether or not to accept Mr. Corey Neslage's recommendation to you to be hired as the head coach. Should you be hired as Kirkwood's head coach, you have a tough act to follow in Coach Shelton. Coach Farrell Shelton had a 31-year career, the last 6 of which were at Kirkwood, and won the 2016 Class 6 state championship, and more importantly for a lot of folks, never lost at Turkey Day. So I know the Turkey Day game didn't get played this year, but what does that game mean to you? Because that was a game where you kind of broke out a little bit and put yourself on the map as a young player.
It's huge, man. It means a lot for both communities. It means a lot to the history of football in St. Louis, in the Midwest, and in reality, in all actuality, really around the nation, right? The second or a third oldest game west of the Mississippi or something along those lines. And so it's huge. And I understand, when you get all the fans there and the pep rallies and the chili cook-off and just everything from the alumni breakfast to the actual game, it means a lot. And it should, because it's part of both communities. It's part of tradition. And it's something that people look forward to. And Kirk was dominated. So I know I got big shoes to fill. And clearly, my goal that week is to win 2 games that week. That's how I see it. And that should be the goal. The thing about, this program, man, we're going to strive to win each and every day. Victory is part of our motto. Victory is part of this culture change that we're making. And you should strive to win every single day. A win could be something as small as helping the person next to you. That's what people need to understand. Wins come in all shapes, forms, and sizes. Wins come big, wins come small, but you're always striving to win. And you better believe that we're going to strive to win on Turkey Day. And like I said, the goal is to strive to win that following weekend too. So I'm just excited, man. And I think Farrell did a great job. I think he set a great example, for Kirkwood football, for what Kirkwood represents. And now I'm just trying to take it to new heights. That's what I'm trying to do.
Well, best of luck. Jeremy Maclin, thank you so much for joining us here at STL Today and the St. Louis Post-Dispatch.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.